good morning here from the Sano International Cricket Ground number 1. It's D-Day here, Japan Premier League 10 2025. Final round robin round of fixtures this morning. West Kansai taking on the Kansai Chargers on field number 1. We have East Kansai taking on South Kansai on field number 2. And just to inform you, as you see there on your screens now, the match will start in about 15 minutes time. Just with a little bit of rain that came through yesterday evening, we'll get a full day of cricket as well. We'll jump on in about 10 minutes or so to provide you all the action. West Kansai meanwhile won the toss and elected to bat, so we've had a toss here. The Kansai Chargers undefeated thus far, and West Kansai and Josh Brown looking to make their final press, hopefully towards a final in the afternoon. First v second and third v fourth replacement games this afternoon. You should enjoy hopefully a full day's cricket here at the home of cricket here in Japan, the Sano International Cricket Ground here in Japan. But we'll be back in a few moments time to deliver all the action here north of Tokyo. Well, after a brief delay here at the Sano International Cricket Ground, action is upon us on finals day here at the home of Japan Cricket. The final round of round robin action this morning. And on field one, what could be a prelude to a final this afternoon, depending on results this morning. West Kanto taking on Kansai Chargers, who already enjoy a spot in the afternoon final, have the opportunity of swatting away the Hurricanes and ruining their campaign here in the morning. Other game on field number 2, East Kanto Sunrisers, the defending champions. Last chance saloon for them over there, taking on a team with similar fate in their hands in the form of the South Kanto Super Kings, the team that on paper probably boasting one of the best sides here. The winner of that match over there will be eagerly looking at the winner of the match here to see if the Chargers can do them a favour. Quickly going through the table, the Chargers on 5 points. They cannot be overtaken by two teams in the morning action, given the North Kanto Lions have the bye and have already played their 4 matches. West Kanto know that only a win this morning guarantees their spot in the final. And there's some net run rate calculations that play over on the other ground. We'll try and keep you updated as we can. East Kanto and South Kanto were currently 4th and 5th respectively, but both on 2 points. Have the chance of joining West Kanto on 4 points with a win today. West Kanto would need to lose this match as well. First opportunity we get to see West Kanto since match day 1 here on field number 1, and with me in the combox, Garth Thomas. Plenty of intrigue in this one, how Kansai want to go about it. They've exceeded all expectations already, booking a spot in the final. Speaking to Coach Nick Crease, just told the boys to enjoy their cricket and to express themselves, and it seems like they've done that. They come into today knowing that they probably want to win just to keep the momentum into the final this afternoon and dictate who they take on in the final.
Yeah, good morning, Daniel. Another beautiful day here at Sano. No problems with the weather today. Sun throughout the afternoon, perhaps a high of 21, 22 degrees. As you say, this could be a prelude to the final. Interesting matchup here on ground 1 to get us underway in the final round of the round robin. Final taking place 2 p.m. this afternoon. Slight delay, getting underway here at 10:15 local time.
We'll run through the playing 11s for you in a moment as well. There's been a bit of a shuffle for the Kansai Chargers, who have to sit out Alex Shirai Patmore, who looks to be nursing a lower leg injury. Pankaj Chand taking the gloves. Full play here. The Chargers taking on the West Kanto Hurricanes. Down on this side, might have actually hit the face of the bat and half volley into the feet of gloves. The directing pair of Lachlan Naramoto Lake, of course, the men's senior international opener. Josh Brown, who's desperate for a score to kickstart his campaign, especially with a potential final around the corner. Wall just straying down the leg side. This will be tough for the deep backward square leg to run around, but he does a good job to keep to just the 2 run plus the wide. Wall, of course, enjoying success in the form of the Under-19 World Cup qualification.
Yeah, and there's mums on the scorebook on this ground today. Hiromi-san.
So like happy to defend it. Good reply from Wall in number 55 today. He's got the ground. Bit of a nightmare getting into the country. Waited on by Yamamoto late. Maybe just a tad slow with the rain that we had yesterday. He'll collect 2. Trying to think that yesterday that might have gone all the way to the boundary. Of course, the joint world record holder Yamamoto late with opening partner Kendall Kadawaki Fleming with that 258 run partnership against China at the East Asia Cup last year. Struck on the pad moving into the right-hander and turned down pretty early though.
Yeah, hasn't had the best of tournaments thus far, has Lachlan Yamamoto Lake. We're looking to change that today. Nor has Josh Brown. Anyways, last year Josh Brown, he didn't take a fancy to ground number 2. The wicket here on number 1. Who could forget his 122 in last year's edition.
Well driven down the ground. That's not a half volley. That's a sign of a man who looks in good touch early. Ominous signs for the Chargers.
Yeah, beautiful shot. Just leant on it, didn't it? The perfect timing. Straight out of the middle and it raced to the boundary.
The leading edge. Good comeback back from Wall, who wants to throw the ball up in the front foot, of course, with that swing into the right-hander. 9 for no loss. A good start for the Hurricanes. Samad, who's making the case of his bowler aspirations here at the tournament, maybe even most valuable player here. With his work with his left arm orthodox.
Yeah, he's picked up 2 man of the match awards, hasn't he, for his team? Currently the leading wicket taker of the tournament with 7. 7 for 24. Impressive off his 8 overs.
Probably his toughest test here, Abdul Samad taking on Josh Brown on field number 1. Look out in the tea room. In saying that, in the power play, Brown would know that he doesn't need to rocket off to an electric start here. Look it up at the back end, we've seen him accelerate a decent clip. Take the single. Finally, Josh Brown enjoys a run. There's a bit of an applause around the Sano International Cricket Ground facility as well.
A bit condescending. Protection on the boundary for Samad is long on and deep mid wicket.
On the up, for a moment, really should have been taken. I think it was not quite picked up by the fielder here in front of us, the Hill Kano. Today, his leg spin. Oh, completely beaten. Samad, on the most part, has had it on a string here at JPL 10. The ballsy have dreams about when you go to bed at night. Chucker here in the field, stringing that point around more for a short third man. Full toss this time with protection out there, though, in the form of a long on. Just noticing the power play, of course, just the two fielders committed outside the circle. There's a slightly different field for Brown as there is for Yamamoto Lake. Simard wants to attack the stumps a little bit more of Yamamoto Lake. And the mid-off goes back for Brown with the mid-wicket coming in. Struck that well off the back foot. That's a confidence builder for Brown. No doubt. Boundary. Hangs and spoils Samad's first over. Goes for 6. 15 for no loss. Question for you, probably in the context here, Garth, from John Stafford regarding Sakurana Thomas's hamstring injury. Has there been any news overnight on his status?
Yeah, he won't be playing for the remainder of the tournament. I believe he's been assessed. Went to the doctor yesterday, but being Golden Week, he didn't have a physio assess it. It was just a doctor's diagnosis, which probably wasn't the best, but the team physio for Japan had a look at it this morning. But yeah, no further play for the Sakurana Thomas in this tournament.
Equal toss in the day. Lee-san taking over from Kaiwan. Another left armour. Seems to be a place where there are plentiful amounts, plethora of left arm quicks in the country. And this time by Yamamoto Lake, will take one. And of course, that tri-series coming up as well with the Cook Islands and Thailand, and hopefully Rayo is fit for that. Did walk past him yesterday, and he obviously spoke to you. Seems like he's just trying to keep his cards close to his chest and wanting to be a part of that international series, understandably. It begins May 7.
Correct. First game, Cook Islands, Thailand, so Japan beginning their campaign on the 8th.
Cooks, I believe, got in yesterday. Intriguing tri-series that will be as well. Coming around as well for some bilateral stuff too after that. Ah, there it is. There it is. It's back. The shout of heads towards the nets. Josh Brown launches. By the man behind the fence, keeping a close eye on it, knowing that there's potentially another ball coming his way. Full again, but straight to the man at mid-off from a half volley. Hara mid-off. Knows a fair bit about Brownie, of course. He's based in Brisbane as well. Short of the length that time, but finds a gap. Be at least 2. Of course, Kansai, as we mentioned, already through to the final A loss here, though, would mean that they would take on. Oh, here we go. This time into the car park or into the trees. Worked around, easing it on its way.
Lovely pickup, wasn't it? Huge six. You say, ending well over the rope, over the tents and the trees, down by the swimming pool. Fortunately not in use now. The Talama High School has been changed into the International Cricket Ground, home of cricket here in Japan. Word around, unfortunately, won't probably host the Asian Games here. Nagoya, the host city, wanting to keep all the sports within the city. It's probably 4 or 5 hours drive from Nagoya to Sano. Samad back with ball in hand.
Good shout from Yamamoto Lake to get down the other end.
Perhaps these two on the way to the highest power play we've seen in the tournament.
That's a great delivery. Samad just back of the length, and here on the SICG number 1 surface you can get some turn and bounce, especially early in the morning. Looking to load up. Not quite there for Brown on that occasion, just the one. North Kanto line sitting out morning action today with the bye. We will play the 4th, 5th playoff. The 3rd, 4th playoff, I should say. By virtue of knowing that, well, whoever loses in that East Kanto Sunrise Super Kings game next door will finish bottom. Yamamoto Lake attacking and beats the man running in from long on for 4. The placement had to be excellent, and it was. Gives himself some room again, this time squatting into the offside for 1. End of over number 4. 107 for no loss, and numbers being put up here by the Hurricanes.
No players of yet on ground 2. Just seeing the stumps have been put into the artificial over there, Daniel.
That will provide some entertainment. We do need a result over there.
Yeah, both teams, I guess, South Kanto and East Kanto, still within a mathematical chance, aren't they? The winner of that match, depending on what happens here on ground 1, of course. But as you say, if West Kanto win this, well, there'll be a rematch in the final between these two teams.
Another change in bowling. We Naka. Down the leg side. Hope shout of LBW. Down the ground from Yamamoto Lake. He's down on strike wearing number 23. Turns that into a half volley and puts it into the nets. Fielders gave up on this one quickly again. From Brown up. My eyes almost went up in towards the mountains, thinking that was set to be launched again. This time they'll run through the one. Down to Brown's end, keep him on his toes. John Saffin again. This is the end of that over. 45 for no loss. Another question coming in from father of Kazuma, asking if there's going to be women's cricket at the Nagoya Asian Games. It hasn't been confirmed, but I think per regulations of the Asian Games that they have to have events on both the men's and women's side of things. So I think that's all but guaranteed. Normally, it's a case of sort of athlete numbers, which is the biggest hurdle in terms of what events can be included and excluded from a cost point of view, but cricket obviously being included, they would have accounted for athletes on both the men's and women's side of things. Here's the skipper. Playing and missing is Brown.
It'd also be interesting the number of teams, the number of nations that will be invited. Thinking back to 3 years ago in China, the Asian Games that held there in Hangzhou, I think they had 14 teams, quite a large number given just they had the one ground. There were sort of early knockout rounds, and then the higher ranked teams such as the Indias and Pakistan were given byes. Japan in that Asian Games tournament, they won their first game against Cambodia, going down in their next game to Hong Kong, China.
In the block hole from Suzuki Macom, the Chargers captain, getting his field right, executing his own plans here. Yeah, the consideration, the first priority is to make sure that men's and women's competition is both played, and then the compromise that's made normally is how many teams can compete, given that you've got yourself a cap on athlete numbers. So yeah, I think the bigger question will be how many teams each competition will be. Swing the miss again, Yamamoto Lake looking to create some room. Prefecture, of course, Nagoya, the big city there. It's about 450 kilometres away from Sano, and the hope is that a team or multiple teams come up and base themselves here in the build-up to that tournament. Brown calls through Yamamoto Lake for the single.
We should mention that the Japan men's had the International Tri-Series after this tournament, and following that, bilateral series with the Cook Islands, but also later on in June we see the women's with an international series against 4 visiting nations.
Inside out, wide of the tee room for 6. Manufactured this shot. Just that extra split second of time he seems to have to turn this into a cover drive. So he's hitting it straight over the long off head.
Yeah, glorious shot, and well, this could be a very dangerous partnership for Kansai Chargers. Memories of Josh Brown on #1 last year up against North Council that day, scoring 124 of 55 balls, 13 sixes a part of that innings. It was certainly a spectacle. For Yamamoto Lake, equally destructive. As I say, he hasn't had the best of tournaments. Today could be his day. Might be that day to turn yourself into form. Could be a prelude to the final here. This Kanto taking on the Kansai Chargers. Yet to win the tournament, Kansai Chargers. The best finished 3rd, which was last year.
Sniper for another over as Yamamoto Lake happy to pat down to long on once more. With the Yamamoto Lake, having Brown at the other end, he knows he doesn't have to reinvent the wheel or go right out of the gate. There is protection out there. Oh, he slipped over. It's 4. It was a tough one to read. Maybe just the spin off the bat of Brown, wrong footing the man in the deep. He wanted to negotiate this and completely deceived, almost an off break off the grass. The boundary. 38 to Brown already. He looks to wedge this straight in between the long on fielders, and he's managed that.
He's just muscled it, hasn't he? Just power up the man. A couple of bounces before it crosses the boundary rope, but Long could just watch it sail past him.
Sure to keep up with live scores and the teams on the JCA app on the phone. Oh, he's been given time to whack this basically wherever he wants.
Absolutely punished, landing on top of the training nets there at Sano. Good 90 metres down there.
Has to be. I think we've got plenty of netting put up because some of the local Sano traffic might cop a cricket ball on the side of a vehicle. Let this ball back from the nets. The over rates have been good at this tournament, but if you're going to have to keep fetching Josh Brown sixes, I don't know how much of that comes into consideration from the umpire. 4, 4, 6, 1. Outside edge there. It's down the other end.
I'm just glad that yoga group's not out here going through this session as they were during the under-19 series.
That little area down to our right. It's about me. We've got easy 1 that ends the 7th over. No loss. Question coming in from Shin-chan Shot on the YouTube comments. Is this the Josh Brown from Australia? Yes, indeed it is. There was 5 marquee players all hailing from Australia in this tournament. Josh Brown returning for his second at JPL, made an impression last year during JPL 9, and 4 other Australian premier cricketers coming to Japan. Jack Wood of the Kansai Chargers, his opponent today, another BBL player of note at the Heat most recently. We're going to talk about where we'll be going next season. Mitch Jamison at the Sunrisers. Sam Wilson at Toonball Cricket Club. He's at the Super Kings, and the North Toronto Lions boasts James Baisley, of course, Australia A, Cricket Australia 11, BBL players, enjoyed a fine decade-long career in domestic game.
Led his team to victory yesterday, didn't he, Baisley?
Yeah. I think this will be leg buys. Ujihara running around to just 2. Yeah, showed real maturity yesterday, James Baisley. Delivered the short ball, delivered 2 wickets, hitting in short, and came back, took a 3rd, and then in the chase, just had that calm, knowing that he need to race home to that time. I think it's really fine. Side for 1, it brings Brown on strike.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on Declan Suzuki McComb after having a lovely dinner with his parents last night. His dad was telling me he's lost his toenail out in the nets with just the sand shoes on. Got a Yorker. Just took the nail off, so looks to be walking okay, running in okay. Nice to lose the toenail.
Hopefully it doesn't impede him for all that upcoming wave of men's internationals. Just moving the field around a little bit for Brown. Short of the length with that man that had been sent back for 1. Really the spot to miss if you're Declan Suzuki McComb in that situation. You don't want to give one to Brown in his arc. People in the comment section believing that Brown could defeat a team single-handedly. Well, he could, but we saw yesterday it was tough sledding for him in field number 2. Going in either match. Overall quality here strong. And Motor Lane just having to readjust after the premeditated scoop means nothing.
Yeah, they did well to manufacture a win yesterday, West Kanto, without their big star batsmen, both Motolake and Brown, going for no run.
Little adjustment from Melanie Motolake, but maybe just moving back a fraction. 1 score. Over 12. 75 for no loss. 8 overs gone. A perfect platform here for the Hurricanes, who have faith in their own hands. Very nice midfield, really overseas player on the Charger team. This is indeed Jack Wood, a player I mentioned just a few moments ago. Currently at the Heat, I believe he's in contract negotiations for next season. Being a great addition for the Chargers, really fit in with the Chargers ethos. I think the way that they want to play their cricket, just to be free and play your type of cricket, and 11 players playing their type of cricket that they know that they can achieve. And provide a holistic team effort, and Jack would really enjoy his time here in Japan, being around and social, and already made plenty of friends here in Sano and on travels as well. I know that he's not bad with a guitar in hand with a microphone in front of him as well. Change of bowler. He's got
Max,
looks like it. Yeah, he was a gorilla in the Futures League.
Yep.
Won the Futures League and then was a member of the 19s World Cup qualification squad. He's got the chance to complete a trifecta here this weekend. A whirlwind fortnight or so for him. Year 12 student at Pius in Chatswood, northern suburbs of Sydney. He's 12 at the moment. Not too sure what he's going to do after school. Playing, looks like it's going to be university of some description. Well, he's currently getting a lesson from Josh Brown. Caught in the deep, it looks to be. And he's come to Sunrisers fielder there in his warm-up, holding on to that one.
Yeah, it's good to see actually them warming up on ground to play perhaps to get underway at 11 o'clock.
Gets away with one on the power in, but probably the better length to err on. 50 up for Josh Brown with that 6 as well. 21 deliveries. 56 he raced so fast in the half century. He didn't even bother raising his bat.
Yeah.
More big full toss to no ball. Brown will want 2 to get the strike back for the free hit. And thankfully, Yamamoto Lake is quick between the wickets, one running to the danger end. So the last bloke you want in this situation facing your free hit delivery. It's a great adjustment from Yonakawa Lin. Not ball. Doesn't capitalise. Should be shouted 2 again. 2 inside the circle. And the 9th over and 7 for no loss. Single for Walter Lake out to third man. moment I thought he picked out Jack Wood, who's had to set about the chase. On wind, Jack Wood. I think we might see bowl a little bit more at this tournament, but not as yet. We'll check on the ball here. More than likely copped a beating from Josh Brown over the last hour or so. Spoon to the lakeside. Again, he's made a nice little platform for himself. Top edge out to deep third for one. Just keeping these two a little quieter than they have been thus far. Oh, the tea room was in trouble for a moment. It's gone just to the left of it for 6. Let's have a look at the replay here to see where this one ended up. Trying to see if there's any Super Kings there padding up ready to go. Just noticing here too that we've got a change of ball. Hasn't been a common occurrence of this tournament thus far, a change of ball. Been able to save some money on some Kookaburras. Believe. Yes, it's a good question. I think they are. sure what the library of white balls Alan Kerr has over there at his disposal, but trying to find one with around about 10 overs of wear, I'm sure probably not the easiest of tasks. Sashi Fujihara, he's off spin. Now, tough proposition for him. The Hurricanes completely sweep through Sano this morning. At the end of today, they could be lifting the trophy. It'd be a whirlwind 3 days for Josh Brown, should he and the Hurricanes go on to win the tournament. Plenty of air given by Fujihara, but Josh Brown puts some air underneath this ball as well with a thumping 6. One more time, this time too short. Add another half a dozen. Into the 80s. Oh, dug in short again. Look out on the road. Oh, it's hit the net. It's hit the net about 3/4 of the way up. Around the wicket comes Fujihara. Meanwhile, Brown's 13 away from a ton. Full toss. Full treatment. Roku. .93 for Brown off 34 deliveries. In the end, the moon ball only leads to a single. Completely took the pace off there, Fujihara, but it brings Brown back onto strike, and with the opportunity, one blow for 3 figures. Down the ground for a single. Oh, and loops over his head. A chance for a return catch. And a 95. 36 deliveries. Into the gap. For one, not tempted to take on Samad. There's been a real shining light for the Chargers in their campaign. best view in the house here for Browns and Indians to 25. Continues. Fine spell here. Not yet rewarded with a wicket, but yeah. All beats him. A few times today that Josh Brown has been beaten by Given as well. But in 96 for now. Won't have the strike for the next over. 130 for no loss. It's the crazy thing to say when a guy is 96 not out of 39 balls, but the run rate has just rocketed here. It's almost been a bit of a blur, the hitting of Brown, and you've actually got to give a lot of credit to Yamamoto Lake at the other end, who has not succumbed to maybe a false pressure of thinking he's got to try and keep up with his partner. He's just done the job, moved the score around, tick things along. First over. At a time to ball into the attack. The opposition 130 for no loss. Goes. That's clever from Yamamoto Lake. One bouncing over the rope before on the paddle. Gets in on the act. Manipulating the field here with the plum. Been far from a graph for Yamamoto Lake, but enjoying his own highlight. Being the Joshua Brown show at the other end. Through ball one. Left in this one. Brown sure eyeing up that netting at the Parasawa Mountain end. Shuffling the field now with Brown on striking the Colin out from mid-wicket into the circle. See the attack with this from Kalal here. Even those from the other ground watching on eagerly, waiting to see if this man can reach three figures. Outside edge. Oh, will it beat his man? No. Moves to 97. Moment there, I thought. Ika wasn't going to get there. Dare I say, it would have been an anticlimactic way for Brown to reach three figures after the knock we've seen. an excellent shot, but there is a man out there protecting the boundary. Like he's good on that. Full air length, it's not quite half body length, he's able to ride the boundary. Nice ball of the over. There we go. No ball. This one will be re-bowled. So, for Kalal's benefit at least, the man on 98 not out that will be facing up. They're allowed to change the field here with new batter on strike. Free hit. Well struck, but one going for long one to end the 13th over. 1-3-8 for no loss. Josh Brown inching towards 3 figures, and we say that after a couple of singles and twos, taking from 93 and 98. Dealing in multiples of 4 and 6 much earlier. I can imagine with a scoreline of 98 or 41 next to your name. And he picks up a wicket in his final over. His dream campaign continues. The shining light of the Chargers giving them a glimmer of hope here on the number 1 ground. Pull that in towards the leg stump, Garth Thomas. So we're going to get a start over on the number 2 ground at some stage. We'll just wait some news from over there. Both those teams, of course, eagerly awaiting the result here as well, because this Kansai Hurricanes' victory would spell an end to both of their campaigns. So they're needing a favour from here inside here who are desperate to curtail the opponents. Give himself some time. They've got ball spinning to the outside. have when the team's going 11 and over. Or mix up. Was ready to unleash it. Extra cover. Nightmare scenario for that. To work that into the leg side. Richie off the mark. And Brown on. No, he won't be on strike, of course. The ball will be over. 41 for 1. 14 overs gone. Himself for hitting the singles down the ground there, I think. Good result for the Chargers and a good over for the Chargers. Samad continuing his fine campaign. 1 for 18. And pick of their bowlers. Good numbers on the stream. I think that thrilling hearing that Josh Brown is in form.
Yeah, plenty of fireworks so far from Josh Brown. 11 sixes, 3 fours, too short of his ton. It's Miyauchi on strike.
Big shout, and it's been given LBW. Well, for a moment it might have been spearing down the leg side, but umpire, after a lot of consideration, was more than happy to give this out. Maybe pressing the height too, but maybe the top of leg stump as well. Richie stay is short. He goes for 1. 142 started from 15th over.
They'll be cheering every wicket, the East Kanto and South Kanto teams. We really need Kansai Chargers to win this match for one of them to have a chance at the final. If West Kanto win this match, then it's a prelude to the final this afternoon at 2 p.m. Do tune in. Kansai Chargers already through to the final. Let's see who joins them.
Fiery start into new batter. Super Wada walked 3 consecutive sixes yesterday over on ground number 2, so
yeah, an important little cameo, wasn't it, towards the end? Got them up and through the victory.
Playing this, more than happy to swing the bat in the last 5.5 overs or so.
Kanto also in the earlier game yesterday had a close battle with North Kanto Lions. You go Kelly, the star of that match. He didn't get out of the match. It surprised me. He took wickets and he almost led single-handedly his team through to victory, just chasing a small target.
Brown rightly falling right at back.
He'll be loving this. Or Benzo, as he's often known as around the tracks. And alongside Josh Brown batting perhaps to put his team into the final this afternoon. JPL edition 10, the best yet in my eyes. I've only seen 4 of them.
Good bouncer. Change of pace from Kulali effort for keeping wider at bay.
The quality and depth on show just continues to get better every year in Japan. In addition of these 5 marquee Australian players, also other players. Other players being flown in from around the world, many of which are a part of the Japan national squad. We talked about series coming up, tri-series from Tuesday on.
Worked into the leg side, a big one. Means that wider keeps the strike. Another bounce back over for the Chargers, 15 gone, 142 for 2. Run rates crept under 10s.
Yeah,
Fight back.
yes, just looking through the number of balls. Josh Brown hasn't faced the ball in the last 13 deliveries. That's something just at the back of his mind, get him back on strike. Crazy not to. Man who's going at 239 strike rate. Difficult period for Kansai Chargers. Next to be Kai Wall with ball in hand. He'll be running in from the school end here at Talma in Sano.
Brown on hold for now, still as he remains on strike. Toe ended, straight out to deep mid wicket, and finally an opportunity for Josh Brown.
What's Kai Wall thinking, Daniel? The youngster.
Yeah, good luck. We'd be happy just to give a single up here and hope he can keep Wilder on strike for the rest of the over. Brown on 98. I think mission accomplished for Kai Wall. Brown's a 99. A little shuffle in the field for Wilder. Been pretty mature knock, especially in the last 20 minutes or so from Brown. He's not had a lot of the strike and been more than happy to work the ones for now. Top edge. Man running around, can't quite get there. It's a tough chance. Not going to call it a chance for man running over. Samad that was. 99. Now I'm just assessing where he can pick up one to go to 3 figures. He's from the other ground eagerly watching on, as well as those in the tea room and collection in the stands as well. One away. And remains one away. And a square leg. In the infield, holding on. Finds a little pocket to knock one to long on and celebrate a century here at the JPL 10. It's been a roller coaster ride for Josh Brown, even getting to Japan, and his day with the bat yesterday, enjoying the high of a three-figure score on finals day here in Sano.
Yeah, congratulations to Josh Brown, his second ton on this ground, and perhaps the only player to score 2 centuries in the JPL. Savarisa Ravichandran scored one in 218. Niazi has scored a century in the JPL. That'll be a good job for our statistician just to confirm that he perhaps is the first to score 2 centuries. Of course, his 124 last year on this very ground against North Kanto. That ended in a 140-run victory that day.
A chance to outdo himself here in the final 4 overs. It's been a good little push from Kansai not to let this get completely out of hand. Tawada missed timing. Man running in won't get to it. They just won. Now Brown, the best part of 4 overs to create some more headlines and highlights. To really go here. Probably, I would say normally out of the question, but with this man in the middle, anything possible. It's gone straight up. Man underneath in the sun though, can't get an eye on it, and unfortunately gives up the chance. It was just an Iker there at short third.
Yeah, it never really looked like it, did he? Just looking for the sun, whether that played a part, but disappointing. Yet to see how costly that could be. Josh Brown continues to tee off. Already 11 sixes off the bat, and 3 fours.
One, 2, 4 is the record here at the tournament. Both a long-standing record. Honey Khan's 115. He actually set that in the first year of the JPL, so it took a long time for 115 to be usurped, and it took an almighty lot from Josh Brown on that particular day. It's into the leg side. One. He did it for the Chargers as well, coming back to haunt his old team, who were obviously keen to have him back, but didn't quite fall to them in the marquee player draft, of course, going number 1. Instead, Kansai took Jack Wood, who I'm sure will be looking on, knowing that he has the opportunity to emulate the success and staying low on the rider. It's going to need to be a big team effort with the bat for the Chargers if they are to match the Hurricanes. You know, they almost get a double chance today with the success that they've had on days 1 and 2 in the final with a loss this morning. Ryder picks up 1. And the over. 17 gone. 152 for 2. Ryder will be on strike.
Still no action on ground 2. South Kanto taking on East Kanto over there. Both currently positioned at the bottom of the ladder. A real surprise in two of the key teams over the previous 9 editions. East Kanto having run three editions, South Kanto winning 4 editions, so of the previous 9, 7 titles have gone to those two teams. Not today, not edition number 10, where we're likely to see perhaps a repeat of this game.
With one. Century, 1, 2, 4, and just 39 balls. 1, 2, 4, 55 balls. One they've done quite well in charges, in fairness, and tying him up just a tad, depriving him of the strike at least as well.
Taniyama not playing in this match, is he?
Wada, meanwhile, for a moment, he lifted over the boundary, just slightly mishit. They didn't collect the one. I understand Wall's tactic there. Not the worst place to miss, actually. Top edge. This would be a huge wicket in the young career of Kai Wall. He picks up Joshua Brown for 103. The tactic just to push away from the right-hander. Quite his best delivery on that occasion, Kai Wall. Not that he will care too much.
Yeah, Jack Wood taking the catch comfortably at point. But, well, Kansai Chargers will be glad to see the back of Josh Brown. He departs 103 runs, just coming from 47 balls, including 3 fours and 11 sixes. Not quite able to better himself from last year's 1-2-4, but nevertheless, huge contribution to the team. He's put them in a great position here. 156 for 3.
Been a great fight back this from the charge to slow the run rate down. 11s at one point, and 10s, and now they've even got it under 9.
Yeah, very true. Gee, after 11 overs, they were 124 without loss. So you're right, they've pulled it back well.
Just doing it for themselves, the Chargers, they're potentially doing it for those two teams warming up next door. At least one. Good. Maybe a couple of stuff with out in the middle. Number 1. A chance to take the new ball in the second half of this game, you think? Oh, Kaz takes on. No, he doesn't. For a moment there he called yes, then he said no. Good thing for him, he isn't saying sorry to anyone in the dugout walking back. 5-8-3. 2 overs remaining. Yeah, for time early in this innings, 200 was almost a foregone conclusion. Thoughts of maybe 210, 220, and now feeling that really 180 is the realistic goal for Hurricanes. It would be a winnable score. On the plate of the Kansai Chargers batting lineup. Should know Alex Cutmore in the team today as well with his little injury. Lucano's leg spin in now.
Yeah, Raheel working for the Japan Cricket Association. He's Sana.
Top edge. Missed time from Kato Stafford, but it's been put down in the deep. It's Yonakawa Lin out there at deep mid-wicket, who's given his under-19 international teammate a lot.
Yeah, you were talking the other day, I was listening to your call, the under-19s, the most capped under-19 player, Kato Stafford.
Big long hop that and then the ball almost dies on Benzo.
He's also played 7 matches for the senior team. He has Kato Stafford. 5 of the games coming against Mongolia. Also games against China and Hong Kong.
Works into the leg side again. His time is a little bit better. He'll collect 2 and then running around. Yonakawa Lin's throw was excellent, but running smart. The better arms in the team, Yonakawa Lin. Side once more. Baseballs into centre field for 1. Jack Wood cleaning up from long off.
That's baseball terms there from here. Centre field.
Get the opportunity to go around and see a game in the Big Smoke on this occasion, but I'm sure I'll make time for it next year. Rada looking to manufacture something there with no effect. 165 for 3. The strangle from the Chargers continues. Great 7 over period or so here for the men in black and white blue. Yearning to putting this match back in their favour, with the incentive being they could prevent a rematch with Josh Brown in the afternoon's final if they were to beat them here. Brown gets 4 sixes on the trot in the 11th over, and they're 124 for no loss. And now just 165 for 3, so quick maths here. You see, ball in again. Top edge again from Kato Stafford, but it'll fall in between 2 fielders.
Chance for a run out, but turns and makes it home.
So in 8 overs from 11 to 19, they've added just 41.
Yeah, they'll take heart from that, should there be a repeat in the final. What they'll be planning for is strategy to get rid of the top order, especially that of Josh Brown and Yamamoto Lake. What plans they put in place to try and snare their wickets. Under 19 teammate up against under 19 teammate Tucker Stafford and Kai Wall.
Work his 19 teammate into the leg side. And looks not about his business quietly, but with great effects here. He's gone for a run of ball, taken the wicket of Josh Brown. Certainly done everything skipper Suzuki McComb would have asked him to do. Top ball. The playing conditions on ground number 2 as we are about to see some action. East Council Sunrisers batting first on the synthetic over there. Not middle again this time from Wada. They want to. He'll come back for a second. It's a good throw, but running again. Does the job.
Yeah. Nicola Lynn, the man in the outfield there, as you say. Good arm. Just over the stumps, over the bails. That brings the end to the allotment of 20 overs.
170 for 3. Work their way back into the game. The Chargers in the second half of that innings. Though the early damage of Josh Brown and Lachlan Yamamoto Lake probably puts them ahead on the balance of probabilities here. Cardwell finishes with 1 for 24 after 4 overs. A good bowling spell from the 19 World Cup hero. Yamamoto Lake helping things along with Josh Brown, who made a 48 ball 103. 11 sixes in that knock. Tanamiya Uchi couldn't quite get going. North of position there. Sutawada then struggling to find the same rhythm, and Peter Stafford not out. Just trying to move things along the bowling figures. Kai Wall and Abdul Samad on the bowlers to bowl out there. Full allotment, taking 1 for 24 and 1 for 18 respectively. And third Suzuki McComb. More success just kept West Kansai Hurricanes at bay. David Bilal did the job at the back end there, 1 for 16 off his 3 overs as well. 170 for 3, 171 required for the Chargers if they want to avoid a rematch of the same match in the final. Hurricanes, meanwhile, knowing a win will be enough to see them fight for silverware in the afternoon. Join us in a few moments' time for the second innings. It's the Hurricanes look to defend 170 here at the Sano International Cricket Ground. players and umpires walking back out onto the field. The Chargers needing 171 from their 20 overs to keep an unblemished record here. JPL 10 to knock the Hurricanes out of playoff proceedings. Be Puzzle McCaffrey Stafford to take the new ball, 2 slips in place. The power play, of course, the first 6 overs. Jack Wood opening the batting for the Chargers. Dug out, good start for left armour. Wood in reply to Brown. The marquee man goes bang into the Hurricanes 10. Imposing shot. As Kansai set about their reply. Over on field 2 meanwhile, an 11 aside game. Kendall Cuttawaka Fleming off to a good start, 39 for no loss into the 4th over there. Wood into the leg side this time. There is a man out there. He won't get there though. Back-to-back boundaries as the Chargers go about their business here in the form of the Brisbane Heat man. The Chargers looking forward to a strong response. The 2 teams on the other side knowing that they need a bit of help from the Chargers to keep their finals hopes alive. Good back-to-back boundaries. Adds another one to the score. Coming across from the other ground as well. 6 being struck. Big power play required, you would suspect. The Chargers are going to pull off the chase. Pankaj Chand for today, opening the batting. And lifts into the offside. Not perfectly timed, but he does enough to add another 4 to the total. 15 off this over with a ball remaining. With the teams, the scorecard and other bits and pieces on the Japan Cricket app. On quick clubs. Good comeback from Stafford, but a big over for the Chargers in reply. 15 for no loss as they set about their chase here in Sano. 171 on the target. On field number 2 meanwhile. It's Jamison and Kendall Cuttawaka Fleming into their business. 53 for no loss. All left in the 4th over.
Hugo Kelly will start his spell from the school end. key member of the under-19 squad was Hugo Tanikali. Played a very mature innings yesterday for his team to get up over North Kanto. It was a low-scoring, close affair. He showed real maturity.
Here, Ryuki Zeki, just got the side home in a tricky little chase. He took the responsibility on. Over the top goes Wood. It should run away for another boundary. A little streaky, but Wood knows he's got to go. 171 the target. Two men committed out, both on the leg side as well, so if anything, to clear the infield. Boundary is disposal. Come back from Tani Kelly. Wood beats the man. He gets a fingertip on it, but it won't stop the ball rolling over the road. The blitz continues. He charges Charger.
The 170 scored earlier from West Kanto, the high score of the tournament thus far.
Looking to lift past Josh Brown at long on, but Queenslander will get around to collect and deny fellow Queenslander a boundary.
Could argue South Kanto were on their way to a big score on ground one here also up against North Kanto. They chased the score down of 146 in the 16th over.
Ryan Drake mid off there, top one to the knee. Fielding that one.
Yeah.
They're all okay.
Still an unbeaten partnership, opening partnership for East Kanto on ground two. Just as I speak, a huge field team down from what looks to be Adam Burrs, flying from that end alongside Chris Thurgate. Jamison on 29 unbeaten, and Katawaki Fleming 31 unbeaten.
Started in the chance to bowl a second over. With top ball, he turns down the chance of it single back of point. And the ball flying around the yard on both grounds here now. Things need to go the way of both those teams on field two if they are to progress to the final. That's Jones with an easy single to cover. So far we've been encouraged by what they've seen on field one, knowing they need a little bit of help from the Chargers here. Man out there, but he watches the ball sail over his head for six. It was swatted and muscled over long on.
$12 o'clock midday here in Japan as you hear the Chime, remnants of the old Tanama High School, the commentary box in which we sit, now the headquarters of Japan Cricket.
Take on the wide mid-off and win.
Of course, today a national holiday in Japan, 5th of May, otherwise known as Kodomo no Hi, Children's Day. It's a series of holidays over what they call Golden Week here in Japan. All employees get 10-day stretch of holidays. So there's a couple of staff that will run in from the mountain end.
Well lifted into mid-off. That man at wide mid-off can't get around, but he will keep inside the rope.
Unfortunately for me, Daniel, my stretch of 10 days in at a public school doesn't so happen, so I'll be back to work on Wednesday. Probably leading Sano tonight, so it's been a pleasure commentating alongside you.
Someone departing tomorrow. Sadness is reciprocated, unfortunately. Playing this one for the over. Good bouncer from Dr. Stafford. It's been an unbelievable time in Sano, not only with you in the combox, but the overall experience here in Japan. Before I get too sentimental, the end of the over here, 35 for no loss, and just on the point, JCA have done an unbelievable job getting all this cricket up for their summer of cricket here. And you'll be watching the stream with eager interest across the men's and women's senior international calendar. New intrigue across all the matches with somewhat significance. Here's Tani Kelly. Straight from Wood and wide of Brown. That's expert batting from the marquee man into the 4th over.
He started well as Jack Wood. 31 up now for him. Marquee player. Need to make a contribution, set a foundation for his teammates to kick on and chase this big score down of 170.
Oh, he was given a gift there, Wood, but he's picked out the man at 45. Disappointed with that. This is an incredible piece of batting from Wood. Off the back foot, it's almost an on drive for 6. What power from the Ipswich boy. How he's been able to muscle that over Josh Brown at long on, I'll never know. This time through the cover gap, 4 more. This is an exhibition of batting. And what a response this is.
Yeah, exceptional, wasn't it? Geez, the ball before when he rocked onto the back foot and played the aerial, I thought, oh, he's going to go down Josh Brown's throat, but the power just muscles it. Extremely nice stroke, followed up again. The boundary 4.
Yes, brought about a little reshuffle in the field. Into the 40s now, Wood. Turns back. Untouched charm, the end of the over, 49 for no loss. And it's not the perfect start, but it's an ideal one for the Chargers. Anything Josh Brown can do, Jack Wood can match. really enjoyed his time here in Japan. Jake Wood, having caught up with him a couple of times over the course of the tournament. The type of player and personality that really would flourish in playing different competition in a different environment and meeting new people. Really social guy, likes to sort of listen to everyone's sort of stories. And Japanese cricket, he's really sort of soaked up the atmosphere of it all.
Ryan Drake, the ball from Mountain End, Mount Karasawa end.
Leg side with a wide first up for Drake.
That's really good to hear, Daniel, because bringing these 5 marquee players over, it's about the cricket, but it's also about off the field. And I'm glad to hear that Jack's enjoyed his time, and I'm hoping the other 4 do as well. Kendall's had a list of activities going on, keeping them entertained, and it's been absolutely brilliant hosting them.
Sliced, dropped at backward point, a tough chance. We'll call it a half chance for now. I'll run a second. It looks like Yamamoto Lake at backward point. And sprawling and launching off the turf and didn't quite hold on to the catch.
Yeah, he's the best of the best, Lachlan. He's a brilliant fielder. And he was probably disappointed with himself that he didn't nab it. Did well. I want to say he got 2 hands to it, but did everything possible.
Luckily, starting him off, he's punts on the other ground. Not in the moment. Well, distracting to the offside. It'll just be one though.
Just a bit of anguish from Yamamoto Lake, feeling like he might have been in the contest for that one. And another chance.
He's Kansai on track to make 200 in 11 overs. To give you an indication of what's going on over there on the synthetic. There's one real tight boundary on this side. Plenty of balls being flown into our ground. Next Jamison, 55 not out of 20. Struck hard but straight to point. 44 not out of 15 for Katawaki Fleming meanwhile. They're more than happy to see Jack Wood do his thing over on field 1, knowing that they need a little bit of help. Kansai Chargers win to make the final. They have the wins in that game. So net run rate permutations as well to consider too. Wood meanwhile 9 off a half century. Bottom edge. Just that ball took an age to get to him, holding up on the surface.
Well, currently, Kansai Chargers 53 without loss. That was the power play score, scored by West Kansai.
What the new electronic scoreboard on ground number 1 here is getting a workout as Mitch Jamison hits another 6 on the other field. Top ball here on Sano International Cricket Ground number 1.
Good start for Ryan Drake. Took 4 for 5 yesterday in ground 2.
Oh, that's it, wasn't it? Big shout on the toe of Wood, but might be just creeping down the leg side. Pretty standard Ryan Drake over that. You get a little bit of everything with Ryan Drake, and then he goes to just 4. 53 for no loss, 5 overs gone.
incredible what's happening on ground too, isn't it? Oh, I'm just checking out the app, the cricket app. Kendo Karawaki Fleming, 31 runs of 12 deliveries. Richard Jamieson, 47 off 19, 82. Oh, what is not yet to be 5 overs.
Got ourselves a change of bowling, and it's Jake Sudanan's leg breaks in. Again, final over the power play. It's a tough little initiation for Sudanan. Caught up with him yesterday afternoon. He said that he's worked a little bit with some chief here, spin consultant who's coming over from Sri Lanka. I think he's almost completely reshuffled his action. A little bit quicker now. Sure, straight to the man at mid-wicket, no run.
Yeah, funny. I had the same chat to him. He was been completely inspired. Showed me a list of his notes that he'd learned.
Speaking of notes, he's also in the middle of doing his teaching degree as well, isn't he? So I think he had to push an assignment deadline back, especially in extenuating circumstances with the week cricket being played. Take on back to point. Should be out. It is out. Wrong footed at backward point, but he held on. I think it might be Ryan Drake.
Yeah, I agree. He perhaps advanced a little too quick, took a back step, and then took it. And again, just rubbing the knee where he took a ball earlier on in the innings. Jake will be thrilled. As I say, he showed me, he went through his list of notes and was explaining each one to me. Some just tiny little details, but overall, the sum of all parts, he's vastly improved bowler from where he was 12 months ago. 2 for 20 in their win up over South Kansai Super Kings on field 2.
First wicket down for the Chargers in their pursuit of 171. On the other field, John.
And perhaps an opportunity for a wicket that has slipped through South Kansai's hands. Literally. Jamieson perhaps been dropped on 37. Bowling with a lot more pace is Jake for 7 now.
Into the power play, probably the best over from a West Hunter Hurricanes point of view. So far in this innings, 55 for 1.
Yeah, just the 6 runs been added to the past 2 overs for Kansai Chargers. Introduction of Drake and Kasida now. Bringing momentum back their way. Wood remains on 42. A key factor in this match.
again. Like an easy single.
Kansai charges without Alex Shirai Patmore for this match. Looks nursing an injury, or perhaps just waiting for the final.
Wait with bated breath as to how he enters the fold. Big top edge on the other field. Catch taken. That'll off your Fleming departs. And miss from Fujihara. Good pace and bounce as we've become accustomed to seeing from Ryan Drake.
You'd say Fujihara is more of an aggressive type player, wouldn't you, Daniel?
Right outside the off stump. Well bowled again from Drake. And this bodes well for the Hurricanes if Drake can get into his rhythm and bowl close to his 4 overs straight. Them through Ryan Drake. There's fewer bowlers in the country quicker. Jara finds bat on ball on this occasion to beat third for 1.
Yeah, I haven't seen Ryan for over 12 months. He's growing a bit. 22 years of age. Played 14 matches for Japan, all T20s of course.
Oh, a tough chance again put down. It would have been an unbelievable catch. Punches the ground in frustration. Kazuma Stafford. Rocketed to him at backward point. He saw it all the way. A good attempt, but again, he's almost a boundary saver. And he got catch.
Yeah, it just flew to him, didn't it? Pace on off the bat.
That's been taken. No, it's been put down. Oh, Miyauchi, I think it just jagged out of his gloves when jarred out after his elbow struck the turf.
Cannot help but feel for Ryan Drake. Leave that S3 for his bowling. But the easiest by far, that one there. You could forgive Kato Stafford and Yamamoto Lake's misses. Just thumped both of them at point. But that one, I understand Ryan Drake feeling a little aggrieved. Clapping up the next bowler though.
Okay, to the Nan again. From the classroom here in the high school building.
Yeah, Ichi just playing mid wicket. Played straight to him, so be happy with his slight movement change, positional change.
Turn back. Now they pick up an overthrow.
Yeah, probably a good decision there from Fujihara, originally turning down his partner. Yeah, Yuchi talking between every ball here at the moment. It's a real key moment. Good context turn around the corner. There'll be a chase on here for Ryan Drake. He won't be able to limit 2 runs being taken. Fujihara coming back. Half an appeal, but home safely. Miyuchi, he's led his team to 2 victories in previous editions. This Kansai winning the JPL in 2021 and 2023. Can you make a statement here before the final?
A little high, I suspect. Second shot, but again, this one sliding down the leg side. You can actually see what the order looks like. That's one Suzuki become things to consider. Should be another wide. Miyuchi actually appealing for his stumping. That ball almost kicked off his pad onto the stumps.
So there's a bit of dip there for Jake. I was just watching his back foot. He was talking to me about his back foot, which had previously been laying down at 90-degree angle, just changing that to a more 45-degree angle, keeping that momentum heading through to the wicket.
Stuck with point, no runs scored.
We're down 62 for 1 here, 8 overs gone. Third 109 runs needed of 12 overs. We'll be going at a run rate of 9. Currently just over 7.5. Jack Wood's innings just becoming so crucial for this chase.
Swing and a miss. Jack Wood probably thinking now that the run rate coming down a little bit. Really an extra onus on him now to move up the gears or down the gears again. Six over on ground number 2. Speaking of sixes, another one for Jack Wood into the nets. Even one in his area. And he rocketed this one into the sky. Almost thought for a second hit it too high.
I thought the same thing. It was like a pitching wedge, wasn't it? But that just sailed on and on. Probably into a pretty stiff breeze too up at the end of the air there. Huge 6.
Brings up his half century with that half a dozen as well. Wouldn't use off strike against Fujihara on strike. Easy on there, advise should be the signal, and it is.
One, it's a bit of a confidence play. He's running with a full head of steam here. He's really into his work nicely. Good battle here up against Jack Wood.
full toss, low full toss. That's probably the spot to miss there for Drake. No loss. You see the score dropping around a little bit on the pattern. We'll get that fixed up for you in a couple of moments' time. Meanwhile, here, in with another nine take over almost. Some. Single to retain the strike. 9 overs gone, 71 for 1. And another 100 required in the last 11 overs of this innings. We've reached the end of the first innings over at the other game. We'll get you an update there shortly. Again. And number 3 for him. That's right down the ground, but Mert is out there for 1. Into the leg side for no run. So start with the Kansai Fujiwara.
They're forcing a shot, won't they? Fujiwara looking to clear the circle, perhaps here.
Turn back. Just trying to force a single.
This one just floats it up a bit more. Does Kasudanan comfortably through for a single. End of a pretty quick over. 73 for 1, 10 overs done, halfway point. Jake Kasudanan on for 6 off his 3 overs. A good spell alongside Ryan Drake.
Both ends. Looks like Tiny Kelly back into the attack.
Yeah, he opened, didn't he, alongside cut-off Stafford, did Hugo?
Struggling to find his timing, Fujiwara.
Yeah, it's just going to apply more pressure on Jack Wood at the other end, isn't it? Keeping up with this run rate. Sorry.
What point stands though, doesn't it? Fine for wicket. Moves to 3. He's worked that around past the 45. It's a foot race. He's done just enough to keep it inside the rope. Kasudanan, that's a great chase. Doing just the 2. No doubt. Into the tent for 6. 2 full from Tani Kelly. And Jack Wood takes him down.
He just tees off, doesn't he? Just a big stroke over long on. The ball has been found. Who can forget the shot of Josh Brown having resonated 3/4 of the way up in the first innings.
One more time. He's got enough of this one as well.
Huge 6. Not quite as big as Josh Brown's, but just short of the netting there. Under pressure, Hugo Tani Kelly.
Doesn't quite get that leverage this time, Wood. 1 to the score. Ends a prolific over. 90 for 1. Another over mark. Run rate. Going it over 8. Short of what they would need. It's been a fabulous reply from Jack Wood after watching old BBL teammate Josh Brown peel off 100 at 2 different BBL clubs. And down at the Melbourne Renegades, of course. Sudanan again. And the length there is good from the leg spinner. Saved 2 runs in the previous over with that chase. To launch into the leg side there, but mistimed. Jack Wood has 3 teams' final fate in his hands, and none of them are Kansai's. Well bowled by Sudanan. Fujihara can only defend. On the reverse this time. There's a bit of success for the right-hander. He switches hands with good effect. He's just had to try and find a new solution. Fujihara's a little bit bereft of answers, but if you can provide a nice little help with Wood, he might even be able to pick up the second run here. He should come back, and he does.
Yeah, plenty of support from the team. Fujihara, they could see he was just struggling in his last couple of deliveries though. I'll get him back on track. can't afford to let the run rate get out of control. Still at 9.
On the outside edge, and tough chance for Miyauchi, who can't hold on. Into the over. 97 for 1, 12 overs gone.
I'm by no means suggesting that Danielle at this stage, but tell me, you'd know, these days, I mean, there's always been retired to it, but you can in fact retire a player if they're not clean it as clean as they normally would. Well, does that go down as retired what?
Yeah, retired
Just
out,
retired
so
out,
yeah.
Right. You know, I'm sure a tactic that we'll see in use a lot more.
A little more, yeah. No grounds, unfortunately, to retire in hurt. Needs to be sort of retired, injured in the innings for that to. Jack Wood, meanwhile, at the other end. Steve Electric, it's actually forced a change in bowler. Kazuma Stafford on strike. Jack Wood takes him over mid-on. There is a man out there though. Yeah, as we know, Jack Wood in negotiations for another BBL contract at the beginning of next summer. Brisbane Heat player last summer. Teammates with Josh Brown, who has now moved down to the Melbourne Renegades. He's halfway through a 2-year deal down there. Jack at the Heat. Oh, might have been a little nick, but it's playing miss. Couple Stafford around the wicket.
Talks of expansion in the BBL, Daniel?
There is. I can't see it happening at this point. I think the league is very much in a sort of holding pattern at the moment down there with number of games and viewership and ratings and all of that going on. There's talk of maybe a team move, perhaps. Outside edge, it'll be 4 runs. Not where Fujihara wanted to find a gap. He doesn't really care. A little bit without luck as well, Couple Stafford here this afternoon. Yeah, there's talk of Thunder maybe relocating to Canberra, and there's talk of the Renegades actually moving to Geelong. It's been the only real movement from a league standpoint. They've gone to a draft system there as well. It hasn't bowled badly. Figures have just sort of ballooned out for him a little bit. Outside of maybe 1 or 2 over pitch deliveries to Jack Wood, he hasn't bowled a bad spell. You see him free pulled up on the other ground as well, as the teams are keen to get going. Straight to Drake again. Last ball coming up of the 13th over. The Chargers have brought up 3 figures. You know they still need around 10s and over if they want to pull off this win. And a win for the Chargers would mean that there's still hope for men on the other field. They do need a big net run rate victory of their own over there, no matter who wins. Charge down another outside edge, but the man should get across this time. And keep the strike for the next over. Fujihara, 13 gone, 103 for 1. And the way these matches have been timed, of course, with that delay on the other ground, the Chargers were to win this game, interesting to see how everything goes over on the other ground, knowing that a win might be enough that either of those teams playing. Conference between the two, maybe tying up shoelaces.
Yeah, even though you're right, even a win for either East or South Canto, they need a healthy run rate, won't they? Perhaps East Canto sitting at 179 for 5 off 11 overs. Well, it turned out they finished with a healthy net run rate, which would take them to 4 points, which would equal West Canto Hurricanes currently at 4 themselves. All eyes on these two, Fujihara and Jack Wood, as to the outcome and who we'll actually see in the final.
Take the single, new bowler, who's been the eye out. Off spinner, of course, taking the reins of the women's national team as coach as well.
Breeze just picking up here in the commentary box.
Wood whacks into the leg side, but Upper Stafford cleans up. Stumped. Well, he might have got his back foot back. He has in the end. Which he whipped the bails off. Quick time, but Fujihara just got that right foot back.
Up space on the leg side as Fujihara.
Into the leg side, man out there. Can't hold on to the catch. A tough one. Yamamoto leg. They haven't come easy for him. He's put down 2 difficult chances.
Yeah, he looked to turn Fujihara, but Jack Wood just said no. Maybe might target for these balls in the over here.
And he does just that. Jack Wood, Roku. No doubt, 20 metres back over the fence.
Yeah, it's a big 6, and I must say, he seemed comfortable. To say to Fujihara the ball before, no, like a piece of this guy. He's taken one bite.
Easy one for Wood to end the 14th over. Will keep the strike. A good one for the Chargers. They pick up 10. 113 for 1.
Yeah, Benet, with all his experience, just pushing that one through a bit quicker and wider. Smart cricket. Beautiful day here in Sano. Children's Day, national holiday in Japan. On days like this, you often see public buildings with the Japanese flag flying. That's one holiday of 4 others, a series of holidays called Golden Week. So no opportunity for Japanese to travel domestically or abroad. A good time to take public transportation, Daniel. You might see a few being squeezed into the trains. Josh Brown having a bowl, is it?
It is. He's off spin. He'll try and undo his former BBL teammate. 1-2 deep cover. bowling from Brown. Wide outside the off stump, inside the tram lines. And outside edge. There should be talk of at least 2 here. See the man again in pursuit. Big intrigue in the last 5 and a bit overs here. The wickets in hand.
And that's the shot there, just easy single down to long off. Brings Jack Wood on strike. He had a planer's part in this chase.
Fired in. And Brown, another one taken though.
Excuse me, into the over.
118 for 1. 5 overs remain. 53 needed off the final 5 overs. Kansai. 9 wickets in hand. We know though that Wood holds the key. Fire again. Good start to the over.
Yeah, the new batsman coming in wouldn't be easy wicket to start hitting 10 and over. So, set batsman, especially Jack Wood, the marquee player, will guide his team to victory here. Definitely Suzuki McCann perhaps next in for the Kansai Chargers. That's a lovely shot, brilliantly driven down the ground, between long on and long off. Jack Wood continues his brilliant performance here. He's up to 85.
50 balls in that 85 as well. An exhibition of batting. Leverage, his long arms. It's a good comeback from Aya that. And he is looking to break the hearts of the Hurricanes here around in the field. Oh, he's picked out backward point and he's remonstrating with himself after that.
Yeah, and with every dot ball, that run rate just continues to climb up to 11 now. That. So Jack Wood feels in control.
One more time for 6. 30 yards over the rope. Into the 90s. What a response this has been.
What a wonderful shot. I'm just glad he's going out over long on, not long off, because those would be crashing into the tea room windows. Huge 6. Under pressure here.
All man out there interested but short of Cuffle Stafford. It'll be 1. He retains the strike importantly. Does enough for that over to keep them in the hunt. 11 off. 129 for 1. You could have a grandstand finish on our hands here. Final 4 overs. 42 needed for victory.
Just letting you know on ground 2, South Country have started well. 24 off the first 2 overs. Wilson playing a part there, just hitting a 6. Previous ball 4, so Sam Wilson is 22 runs just off 11 balls. A key player making a huge contribution to the team.
Oh, has he picked out the man? No, it's just short.
scratching around in his first 10 to 12 balls. Fujihara is slowly catching up on strike rate. Can he play a part here, help his partner out?
Slight change in the field as well, with an extra man coming into the offside. So his boundary shot might be here. Maybe behind the wicket. Outfoxed then by Brown. Backed away and then fired in about a foot outside off stump. Has he done enough? Fujihara! There it is. That's the confidence building shot he needed.
And Dona's teammates love it. Still heaping praise on him.
Fujihara again into a gap. This will be tough to stop, but the man running around does a good job.
Yeah, I think they're just comfortable also to get Jack Wood back on strike. From 93 now.
Oh, goodness me. Ryan Drake only had about 10 yards to move to his left and he couldn't get there. That's how well that was struck.
.97 or 56 deliveries.
Under pressure, watching his opposite number peel off 100, Jack Wood is one shot away of matching him. You pick up one. It should just be the one to end the 17th over. Another good over if you're a Kansai Chargers fan. Hurricanes hearts in mouths now. 142 for one. It's brought the required rate just under 10s. And it took a little Fujihara magic as well to help them along.
What a great curtain raiser to the final, Daniel. This match has had it all. Are we heading towards the final over?
Good chance we'll see these two teams play here again in the final. Either by net run rate or the West Kanto win. Well, haven't been short of drama today. Yesterday on field one, we lamented two not so close matches. This one could go down to the wire. Wood on 98. Man out there. Wide of him. 100 for Jack Wood. What a response from the Queenslander. Watching Josh Brown in the field and then going out and matching him strike for strike. A knock of the highest order for the Chargers, who look to continue their unbeaten record. Slower ball this time. More than happy to pick up one. 8 fours, 8 sixes. And the prospect of a final over thriller here on Sano International Cricket Ground number 1. Please don't envy the number crunching in the net run rate point of view here. 3 teams now. Wood racing from the non-strikers end to pick up a 1.
Brilliant innings, wasn't it, from Jack Wood? I just seen it. Did he do it quicker than his former teammate Josh Brown? His 100 came off perhaps 55, but don't quote me on that. But both marquee players putting their stamp on this match in a stunning way. Both teams having some centurions.
Wood rockets this one past backward point. The man running around's got work to do. Good throw in, but doesn't stop two being taken. Just kept the required rate in check over the course of innings. They had a little dip there in the middle overs, but this pair remained calm, knowing that they could catch up. With quick power play.
A couple of deliveries coming up for Ryan Drake.
Has he picked out the man? No, wide of Copper Stafford, who does well to prevent a boundary. Oh no, there's a huge mix-up. Drake will keep it in the holster.
Yeah.
Just the one scored. Probably the right decision to only have the one. And Drake, I'm sure, would have liked to have fired at the keeper's end, although no one necessarily backing up, and probably not worth a risk at this point. Smart from Drake to just keep that one in his hand. Fujihara will add one. Runs off every ball. Is that over? 1-5-2 for one. 18 needed of the final 2 overs. It's almost been methodical, this chase. They've just kept the rate at around 11s and 10s. And well.
Yeah, I mean, you could say Kansai Chargers are favoured to take it from here, but I don't rule out West Kanto 1 minute. And if they could still take Jack Wood's wicket in the next 2 or 3 deliveries, then who knows how it'll finish. It's been a brilliant match thus far. We'd love to see what the clock does at the end. Meanwhile, I'll be looking across with interest both South Kanto and East Kanto.
On strike to Brown. Flat bats back to long off to get Wood on strike.
The game on ground 2, falling in favour of East Kanto. South Kanto only 20 over from here.
Disappointment for Wood there. He's missed out on a golden chance to work that into the left side.
Bad angle.
Fires it in, doesn't he? Going quicker than most medium paces here in the tournament with his off break, Josh Brown. Oh, he's hit that high and long, but maybe not long enough. Wait, the signal at 6. It's about 200 metres away there. So hard to keep this one inside the field of play with the replay. Number Morsel Lake just palmed it over. One more time. Wide of the man for 4. Well, they've done enough in this over. Jack Wood. Wizardry here in Sano. The Chargers know it too. The Hurricanes campaign hinging now on the final over and a bit here. One more time for 6. Rakuten. Jack Wood to 122.
Incredible scenes, incredible batsmanship. What happens next?
Pulled into the leg side. It will just be one. They require just one. The straw that breaks the camel's back.
What an over 19 with Jack Wood. For a 1 and a dot, 6-4-6. 18 runs from it to put them in a position where just one run is now required. What a chase.
Well, there's a conference in the middle of the Hurricanes. You throw the ball to Kazuma Stafford, Josh Brown, chatting to his under 19 international, senior international for Japan. Stafford.
This country seem a little stunned, don't they? Not only losing of the match, but perhaps losing of the final placing. They may be overtaken from East Country Sunrisers. They have a big neat run victory on ground 2.
One required. And there it is. Lofted into the leg side for a boundary with the field in. Jack Wood works wonders for the Chargers. It puts hearts in the mouths of the Hurricanes, who need a bit of help on net run rate now from the match on Sano International Cricket Ground number 2. The Chargers continue their unbeaten run. They'll take on an unknown team in the final. They're the only constant here in the afternoon. A fine chase from Jack Wood, whacking a boundary to finish proceedings. He ends with 127 of 67 balls. The perfect response to Josh Brown's 100 earlier in the day. And it means that the Kansai Chargers await their opponents in the final. We look forward to that on the Sano International Cricket Ground number 1, the foot of the Kurosawa Mountains. And Garth Thomas, no matter who they take on, plenty of confidence for the Chargers racing into the final, looking for their first victory in JPL history.
Well, there's no better way they could have gone about it, having played all 4 matches and won 4. Just the one result that was abandoned on day 1 against North Kanto Kings, but they've beaten every other opposition over the 4 rounds. And as you say, charging into the final with a lot of confidence. Brilliant display from the 2 marquee players in Josh Brown and Jack Wood, both centurions. And what a prelude to the final, what a curtain raiser. We'll have to wait and see, as you say, in ground 2. Looks to be East Kanto will probably win it, but whether they win it with a healthy and a net run rate, you'll have to still wait and see.
We wait with bated breath here on SICG number 1. Includes the broadcast here of the morning outing. We'll have the final here at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. local time, give or take. Join us for that in a few moments' time, but on behalf of Garth Thomas and myself, Daniel Beswick, it is goodbye from the morning wave here at Sano International Cricket Ground.